Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Some of you guys on this channel have been talking about how you don't want avoidance and you don't want to attract avoidance, and you're done with maybe the avoidant that you've been with and you have left them, and you want to attract a secure partner. There are ways to do that. If you really don't want an avoidant, which a lot of people, it's hard to be with someone who has a lot of difficulties with relationships, secure partners are more ideal for your mental health. And so a lot of you guys want that. And so today we're going to talk about that today. How do you attract them? You have to start being, first of all, being more comfortable with consistency rather than intensity. With avoidance, sometimes it can feel intense at first because of the hot and cold behavior, the mixed signals, sometimes the emotional mystery, and sometimes the chemistry is very fast, but the commitment is very slow. You want it the opposite. You want the commitment to be quicker and the chemistry to be slower. And so secure partners will feel different. And this is interesting because this actually can sometimes work if you're both avoidant. You might actually feel a more slower commitment faster commitment and slower chemistry because the avoidant individual is used to anxious partners. And so avoidant might also feel like this, by the way. But you want a situation where you feel like the communication is more steady, there's more clear intentions, there's more predictable effort, and there's more gradual emotional build. And so a lot of you guys, I think you guys are dating online, like dating apps. And forgive me if I botch some of these terms. I've never used a dating app, but I have friends that do, so I kind of get it. When you're on a dating app, you can chat on the app, right? Before you get the number. I'm like pretty sure you can. Before you meet them, before you go and hang out with them or actually meet them in person, you don't want to vet them right away and say straight up, this is what I'm looking for. You don't want to do that. You want to talk, get some comfort with them. And then when you meet them and you like them, at that point you start having some more expectations and having some communication. You don't want to say right away, I'm looking for a guy who likes dogs because I have a dog, or I can't be with somebody who had divorced parents because I had divorced parents and I'm afraid of that, whatever it is, right? You don't want to do that at that stage. You can do that eventually when you guys get more closer, maybe after the first or second date. You can say, I wanted to ask a little bit about your goals, about relationships, whatever it is. I had divorced parents and so I really don't want that. What's your understanding of, childhood relationships with their parents, healing, bonding, whatever it is, whatever you want to talk about, you can vet that, but not right away, because that can kind of scare even secure partners off if you bring it up right away. I just wanted to bring that up. It's something that was on my mind. But you want to be more intentional about the connection, and if they match your intention to some extent, you can know, okay, this person is secure, or if they're an avoidant, they're definitely not so far on the spectrum. They're still closer to becoming secure. Because you don't want to equate that anxiety you feel with avoidance to attraction. And because you might do that, you might subconsciously choose avoidance because they give you that anxiety, okay? And so you might notice that the relationship might be a little bit more mechanical or boring at first, but it's actually emotionally steady. So that's very good. The next one is you want to communicate honestly how you feel. And we had talked about that, so I'm going to use the dating app example again. If you are talking to them like on the app or however it goes, you want to communicate honestly, but you don't want to tell everything right away because that can even scare secure partners. I'm just telling you the truth. It can be a little much for them. But once you go into a couple dates, you might say, I'm starting to feel like we have a lot in common. How do you feel about, what are your future goals in general? What are you looking for in a relationship? Are you looking for marriage? Are you looking for kids? Whatever it is. And if you are looking, let's say you want children and you want to get married. At that point, you can say, because I want children and I want to get married and I don't want to waste your time, right? I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. Where are you at about this? And if they don't have what you're looking for, you can step away because you didn't invest too much and there's not that much chemistry that draws you in. And that's very important. A lot of times, people who are very attached to that chemistry feeling, they let certain fundamentals slide because they're so attached to that feeling. But if you achieve a connection with your partner or potential partner through logistics and steady communication, it's easier to walk away, but it's also easier to get what you want. The next one, if things are not going in the direction that you're comfortable with, you communicate and you negotiate as needed. This one is important because you don't want it to always be I want to walk away from this, whatever it is. Like kids and marriage, maybe, because that one's a lot of people don't really change their mind about kids particularly. Marriage, they might. But let's say, for example, you are a person who wants to see your partner every weekend, and they say, I want to see you after work because weekends I like to rest or relax because I have a busy schedule. Let's say those are the two people in this couple. That is something you might be comfortable negotiating, and that's a skill you need in secure relationships. You have to learn when to negotiate and when to communicate, and you have to say it typically right as the issue pops up once you go on a couple dates. Maybe they take a little while to text, and that's not your thing, and that's really genuinely how you feel, but you feel like that's too much to ask for. Try. Bring it up. I like at least hearing from somebody I'm texting at least within a couple hours. I don't like going a couple days without talking. I want to get to know you, and I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to waste my time. If they say, hey, I can't do that, then you can walk away. But if they are like, okay, I can do that, but usually I have a busy schedule, I'll try and text you before bed. And you can say, okay, there's that negotiation, and that's how you build that secure connection. And that's how you attract secure partners, because secure partners are used to negotiation in relationships. And so they're not going to have too much of an issue with that. And right away, you'll know that person is secure. The next one is you want to be open to their perspective of what a relationship looks like. If you feel like this person is secure, or you feel like some of these signs we've already talked about kind of fits, hear what they think a relationship should look like. Because maybe you, if you're not secure or you didn't grow up in a secure household, you might not know. And so learning about what you guys know might help you guys to find a middle ground. Maybe they think, oh, it's okay to take your time to get married as long as you both agree to get married at some point. Maybe that's what they believe. And you believe, I don't want to wait, I don't want to get married. I don't want to wait 5 years to get married. I want to at least get married or have a ring within the first year. Some people are like that, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong. There is no judgment. But if that's really what you want, hear their perspective of why they think it's okay to wait like 2 or 3 years or whatever. Maybe their reason is because I want to get to know you. I don't want to invest in something and then not be serious. I don't want to lie to you. I don't want to lead you on. I don't want to hurt anybody. I want to make sure you're right for me, and I want to make sure I'm right for you. That can be a very reasonable thing. That's not like an avoidant thing. Some people think, oh, only avoidants say that. No, secure people might want to take their time too. The difference is that secure people are open about what they feel. They're not going to say, I don't know, I'm not sure, I don't want to talk about it, or I don't like marriage. That's more of an avoidant thing. Secure people will say, yeah, I'm open to getting married. I can't tell you when, but yeah, I'm very open to it. If I feel like you're the person I want to get married to, we can have that conversation. And then you might be more open to that. Okay, maybe we don't have to get married in 1 year. Maybe we can take our time, but at least this person is open to the idea of getting married. And so learning that perspective together can be very helpful, because they'll learn things from you and you'll learn things from them. The next one is you want to view compatibility based on a couple elements, okay? Personality. That's really important. Communication, goals, values, not solely about how they make you feel. Personality is something that I don't think everybody thinks about. I'm going to give myself an example, because this one's kind of weird, which is why I feel like it might help. I have never liked people who are like considered funny. Like, it's okay if you're funny, but that would never be the person. I couldn't imagine myself being in a relationship with like a funny person or someone who uses humor to communicate. I get confused about things like that. My significant other is quite serious. I'm obviously a very serious person. I'm sure you guys can tell. And so if someone is like always funny or making a lot of humor and jokes, there's nothing wrong with that at all. But it's something that I know is not compatible with my personality. It's just draining for me. And so that's a random compatibility thing that has nothing to do with attachment styles, or at least not significantly. That is something I know about myself, right? Communication style. Some people communicate a certain way. I'm a little bit like conflict avoidant. Which is not the best, but I don't like conflict that much. And my significant other doesn't like conflict either. But he always tells me like conflict has some benefits, because you learn things and you get on a better page together. Like you make goals together. And that helps me. Framing it from that perspective helps me to think conflict is okay. But I would never want to be with someone who's like needs to really, everything turns into conflict. I can't do that. And so that's a communication thing. And so some people are just different. So knowing what you are and what this person is can really help. I hope this video was helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.